Many Ultimate Ironman back in the day used something called the Falador suicide method to do what I'm basically trying to do right now. I'm trying to get some law runes out of my looting bag, and the way I'm going to do that is through Zulrah. Now, the Falador suicide method was very popular back in the day until the release of Zulrah on January 8th, 2015, because the Falador suicide method had a huge flaw. The one flaw is that when you did the Falador suicide method back in the day, so rearrange all your items, your untradables would still stay on you due to the update that when you died you would keep any untradables. This made skilling pretty inefficient because you had to keep all your items on you that were untradable, so you had like 4 to 5 less spaces than you could have. There are a few catches with the Zulrah bank, but they're not significant in any way. But there is one main rule that you should keep in mind before you decide to do it. So first off, we are only using the Zulrah suicide method or the Zulrah bank in order to do skilling activities, not any combat. Don't even think about it. If you think you're gonna die during the items being at Zulrah, do not do it. As soon as you die and your items are stored there, they are all gone. Jagex is not gonna save you. It's your fault, okay? So don't do any combat related thing when your items are at Zulrah. So what are the requirements for the Zulrah method? Well, there's actually only one single requirement, and that is the Regicide quest. However, I would highly recommend 76 agility just to make it a little faster. If you have a Draman staff and you can just use the agility shortcut, so that would be pretty nifty, as well as the Rum Deal quest, because that halves the price of charter ships, which you will be using to get back there a second time after all of your stuff is in there. So Rum Deal basically halves the amount of GP that you need to have every single time you do it, which you will be doing a lot, so it'll save you some money in the long term. So let's get down to the main thing, right? How do I do this? And a lot of ultimates seem to be confused, and I know I was very confused when I first had to do this because I kept messing up, and I'm gonna work off that and tell you guys what to do. So the first thing you want to do is, hopefully you have the Nightmare Zone tele unlocked. You want to teleport to Nightmare Zone because it is the closest place to get money and get to a port in the same spot. So what we're gonna be doing, hopefully you have some money stored in your Nightmare Zone coffer. You're gonna take usually around 3k. If you have Rum Deal completed, you only need 1.6k, I believe. However, I just like to take 3k, and yeah, you know, why not? But if you haven't completed Rum Deal, I believe you need 4k because you can only take out intervals of 1k, so you're gonna need 4k to pay for the 3200 GP charter. So once you have the money, you just run up north to Port Khazard, and there will be a charter over here that you just take to Port Tyrus, the place that you just suicided at, or quote-unquote banked. And you're going to reclaim all of your items from Zulrah. So we've just claimed all of our items, now what? Well, I guess that's pretty self-explanatory. We don't have room for everything we want to take, although maybe some of you do. I personally don't. I need a looting bag to claim the rest of this, so that's exactly what I'm going to do. I'm going to go to Edgeville and I'm going to try to hunt down a looting bag real quick. So once you get your looting bag, which I decided to get at the Thugs in Edgeville, you're going to want to store every single thing that you don't want to use for a very long time, or just things that you want to keep in there for a while, because you know you want to do something specific at this point in time, and you want to put these items away for a while. You want to put all of those items in there. So once you've got that, you want to make your way towards Zulrah again. This time, if you have the 76 agility, you can use the shortcut, which I did, and you want to claim the rest of your items. Now we don't need to go anywhere else. You do not need to put these items in the looting bag if you're going for the skilling setup and you want to keep items at Zulrah right now. So basically, if you want to put your untradables away because you want to go skilling, you do not need to go anywhere else. You have everything you need on you. So the first thing you're going to do is you're going to have to organize, or at least you don't have to, but I like to do this a lot. You put all the items that you want at the top and all the items that you don't want at the bottom. It makes things a lot more clear. Now, I want to clear something up real quick. When you claim items from Zulrah, you claim them from the top to bottom of your inventory. Then you claim them from your equipment tab from top to bottom, and then you claim them from your looting bag. So that's why we're putting all the things that we want now at the top of our inventory. The things at the bottom we don't want to claim. So we're going to take every single item that we want to claim, and we're going to put it at the top of our inventory. So as you can see, I've got this organized. However, there's a crucial mistake in this clip, which I'm going to say I purposefully did, but I didn't actually see it. I wasn't paying attention because I thought I was a master at this, but let's just say I did it on purpose, okay? There's a big flaw here because I have the looting bag in the top of my inventory, and if you guys don't know, that looting bag is going to break when I die to Zulrah, so I'm basically going to get an extra item back that I didn't calculate for, if that makes sense. So here's where I do it correctly. I organize everything that I want and what I don't want respectively in the top and bottom. So you die to Zulrah again. Also, I want to go over something very quickly. Every time you die to Zulrah and you know you're going to claim your items back in a specific order, just Gyazo your inventory or just take a screenshot or something so that you remember the order and you don't have to fumble for it and don't have to try to remember. Basically, just take a screenshot so that you know exactly where everything is and you can work your way out of the situation if you end up, you know, claiming an item that you weren't expecting or something. Another thing I really like to do is I like to empty my rune pouch, because if you have your runes in your rune pouch, the runes will be the first thing you get. It works really weird. Basically, it takes out the runes and puts them to the top of your inventory, so you might get some items that you're not expecting if you're not prepared. So I just like to empty it to clear up any confusion. So in this case, I did take a screenshot of my inventory, so it's very, very easy for me to know what items I'll be getting back and in what order. I usually like to keep my equipment tab completely clean so that I don't, you know, have to worry about that. So this is the screenshot of my inventory, and I know that I'm going to need X amount of spaces clear, so I buy X amount of items to fill up those spaces. However, you can mess up like this, so if you want to be safe about it, fill up your inventory full of items and then claim things back one at a time. Refer to your screenshot and see, oh, I just claimed the last item that I wanted, and then you're done. You just drop the seaweed or whatever you bought and you're done. You have all the items you want. You can now go skilling. Just remember, don't do anything dangerous, because your stuff is now stored and you don't want to lose that. So I know things are a bit complicated and that it might have been pretty unclear on what I was trying to get at. However, Zulrah Suicide can be used to regularly clean out your looting bag and reorganize stuff, as well as keep things there for skilling. I personally didn't even have to do it because I have master stashes and the only untradables I had were the Slayer Helm and Dragon Defender, which I took out on purpose to make a point. It's still a very useful thing just around mid-game to get rid of things like your Iban's Staff or that Slayer Helm or Dragon Defender that you can't store anywhere. So also, if you have any questions, just leave them in the comments. I will be responding to every single comment as long as it's, I don't know, insightful or you actually need help. And that's pretty much it. Progress video soon. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you in the next one.